الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Inshallah, we're going to take a break right now, and we recommend that everyone pray 2 rak'ahs at home. If you have the ability to pray Salatul Eid at home, go ahead and do that, inshallah, and I'll quickly go through the instructions on how to do that. So you make the intention that you're performing 2 rak'ahs of wajib Eid Salah with 6 additional takbeerat. And the way it works is actually pretty simple. It's like an ice cream sandwich. I know everyone's hungry. So the takbirat are in the beginning and at the end of the recitation. So when you start off, you say Allahu Akbar, and you fold your hands and you recite your thana. Then you say Allahu Akbar once, twice, and third time you fold your hands. And then you read like regular prayer. You say A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, read Surah Fatiha, and then additional surah, and then you go into ruku, perform the first rak'ah as normal. When you get back up, again recite Surah Fatiha, another surah. Right before you go into ruku, like the ice cream sandwich you talked about, everything is already done in the middle now. So now before you go into ruku, you start takbir again, Allahu Akbar, put your hands down to the side, Allahu Akbar, second time, Allahu Akbar, third time. When you say Allahu Akbar the fourth time, it's actually going into ruku. And then you finish your second rak'ah as you would normally do. So if you don't have, whatever madhab you're following, please follow that. If you have the ability to pray and you want to pray Eid Salah at home with your families, that's perfectly fine also. And we're going to take a break right now. We're going to hit the mute button over here, but you can still see us. We have a very limited gathering here for the sake of doing this presentation, and then we'll get back on again at 9:30, inshallah. Sheikh Saad should be here, and then he'll give the talk, inshallah. Jazakallahu khairan.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. I'm just keeping the Quran away on top. Lose the best when we leave. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أكبر 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 لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد. الحمد لله رب العالمين، ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له، ونشهد أن محمدا عبده ورسوله صلى الله عليه وسلم. اللهم صل وسلم وبارك على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد، قال الله تعالى: ولتكملوا العدة ولتكبروا الله على ما هداكم ولعلكم تشكرون. وقال نبينا صلى الله عليه وسلم: من صام رمضان ثم أتبعه ستا من شوال كان كصيام الدهر، أو كما قال عليه الصلاة والسلام. أقول قولي هذا واستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب واستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الله أكبر 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 لا إله إلا الله الله أكبر الله أكبر ولله الحمد. الحمد لله رب العالمين، والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد رسول الله صلى الله عليه وسلم وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. أما بعد، وقال الله تعالى: إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آل سيدنا محمد. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. اللهم اغفر لنا وارحمنا وأنت خير الراحمين. اللهم تقبل منا صلاتنا وصيامنا وقيامنا وركوعنا وسجودنا ودعاءنا يا رب العالمين. اللهم تقبل رمضاننا وتقبل عبادتنا في شهر رمضان. سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين الحمد لله رب العالمين. Dear brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has put us in a very difficult situation, not out of anger. Do not think that Allah ta'ala is not saying angry with us. Rather, He has tested us, as He has promised in the Quran that He will test us. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. From the things that we've been promised to be tested by, not out of hatred or anger, but because Allah Ta'ala لِيَبْلُوَكُمْ أَيُّكُمْ أَحْسَنُ عَمَلًا, hopes and wishes to wants to raise our position in the hereafter, is our distance from the masjid today. We should take this to the side and think, when I had the opportunity available to me, how regular was I in the masjid? When I had the opportunity to walk the doors and nothing was stopping me, how regular was I? And if we find ourselves we're not regular or we're using excuses before to stay away from the masjid, this is a reminder to us that sometimes when we are ungrateful for something, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala could take it away. Alhamdulillah, slowly places are opening up again. We hope inshallah soon the masajid will open up. But the reality is that just because they open up, it does not necessarily mean that it's a good thing. And what do I mean by that? Of course, it's great that the house of Allah Ta'ala is open. But if it opens up and then we do not come back, if it opens up and now things are safe and we do not come back, then the question comes to us, then how will we stand and account for Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala? In front of Allah Ta'ala, we have to show our gratitude that we return back, that we begin to support, not only financially, but with our presence as well, the house of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala mentioned in the Quran, He speaks to Rasulullah Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, when He describes the Prophet being taken away from Mecca, He mentions, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ فَرْضَ عَلَيْكُمْ الْقُرْآنَ لَرَادُّوكَ إِلَى مَعَادٍ. That verily the one who has written upon you and revealed to you the Quran, لَرَادُّوكَ إِلَى مَعَادٍ. Rasulullah was taken away from Madinah Munawwara. Just like the Masajid became close to us, Mecca became close to them. And when it became close to him, he wept and he was unhappy with this. And the same Allah that had him leave Makkah to Mukarramah and did not grant him access to the Kaaba is the same Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala that is overlooking the situation as well. But He promises here, إِنَّ الَّذِينَ فَرَضَ عَلَيْكَ الْقُرْآنَ لَرَادُّوكَ إِلَى مَعَادٍ. Mufassirin mentioned that this is going to be a mad lazim, or لَرَادُّكَ. Why is this mad lazim used over here? It shows that you will be returned, but لَرَادُّكَ. There will be some time. There will be some time. And in that time, the Prophet ﷺ was 8 years, or it was 6 years, until he was able to go back and do the Umrah at that point. That time, the believers had a deep appreciation and want to visit the Ka'batullah. But in that time, they were able to do other things. And those other things established masajid at other places, bring the deen to different communities, and go and change the hearts of the world. Then Allah Ta'ala brought them back. In this time that we're away from the masjid, how are we spending it? It should not be in complaints. It should not be in despair. It should not be in complacency. We should think Allah Ta'ala radduna ila masajid. Walakin, rather, that He will take us back, and we have to look to see how are we utilizing the time away. Don't think that this is a horrible time. For some of us, this is one of our best Ramadan ever, because we had to cut out the socializing. Socializing has split in deen, but this Ramadan it became pretty much ourselves, our family, and then most importantly, Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. And as a result, people were able to do more. I was speaking to someone recently who their family was able to do 15 or 16 Khatm Quran as a family this Ramadan. I was able to speak to someone, that individual was able to almost get to 10 Khatm Quran on his own. And these individuals, they said, now that I'm locked in, I have to do something. They went to rebuild their relationship. The next point, my dear brothers and sisters, is to recognize that Ramadan, this is the time in which, as I mentioned in the Friday reflection, we build to improve ourselves to benefit others. The way we look at progress is that progress has a personal benefit and a communal benefit. What's the personal benefit? If I'm sick and I begin to get better, there's a personal benefit. What's that personal benefit? I feel better. I'm able to be active. I'm able to do things again. The communal benefit, the entire family has me back again. I'm able to work and earn money for them. I'm able to go and meet individuals and potentially help them and bring a smile to their face. If I'm an individual who's studying, my personal progress will be what? I study and I increase my knowledge and hopefully taqwa of Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. The communal benefits, I begin to go teach others and bring them closer to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala. This Ramadan was about personal benefit. We went to fix ourselves, but now we take that personal benefit and try to make it into a communal change. So anytime we have the opportunity to slip up after Ramadan, we should not just think, oh, I can do Tawbah, but think of the effect it has in the community. If all of us are able to change ourselves individually, the entire community will be elevated. The final thing I want to mention, no one has made me do this, and I have board members in front of me, they can bear witness that I did not make me do this. Just because we were not able to be in a facility does not mean we should not support a facility. Sometimes what happens, we think to ourselves that, well, I wasn't there, I'm not going to give a donation, etc. I don't want that mindset to seep in. I don't know exactly when we're going to open. That's something I don't know. The hope and the effort behind the scenes is to make it as soon as possible with benefit and safety for everyone. But the reality is that our contributions to organizations, institutions, masajid, etc., is not based upon our interaction. It's not a give and take relationship. It's a give relationship. It's a gift relationship. Why am I saying this? Because sometimes what happens is when we don't see the end result, we don't support, but the opportunity of reward slips through our fingers. The masajid, Allah has kept them going anyway. All across the world, the masajid is still going even though people have not been donating. But the reality is the people who stopped donating, they actually lost on their regular reward, that they were habitually gaining reward from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So be it this masjid, another masjid, or be it the fact that you're supporting organizations, institutions that may be functioning from quote-unquote home now, not publicly, don't stop. Because this was a deed Allah took from you. This is the deed that He took from us. Just because we no longer pray at the masjid, we still continue at home in practice and anticipation to come back to the masjid. And we should continue the giving way that Allah bestowed within our hearts. Why? Because that practice gains the happiness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the pleasure of Allah ta'ala, the tawfiq of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And they did not put me up to this, but I just know that a lot of things are beginning to suffer. And I don't know if this place is suffering or not. There's no experiential knowledge that's telling me anything about this. But my fear is that if we have this gap of good deeds on the day of judgment, that gap is going to be one that might be held against us. Thus, we want to continue to give in any capacity to any institution or people, organization, or masjid that we used to be able to give. Now, I want to close with this. Your family has benefited from your presence. As things begin to open up across Wisconsin, recognize that that doesn't mean family time is over. That doesn't mean family time is over. Take the lessons and benefit that you gained and we gained from this COVID era and begin to give back to the family. Do not let the house become a cemetery or graveyard, as Rasulullah mentioned. Engage in worship therein. Make it a practice to stand together in Qiyam, or stand separately in Qiyam, however you should do it, to break fast together and do those things that we do with regularity. We ask Allah Ta'ala tawfiq to make us amongst those who took advantage of this time. Oh Allah, let this COVID era be an era in which we are able to grow closer to you, Ya Allah. Let it be a time when we're able to reassess what we're doing and strengthen ourselves and grow ourselves, that we're able to go closer to you and gain your happiness. Oh Allah, just as this COVID came into this world, Ya Allah, remove it, Ya Allah, such that no trace exists anymore, Ya Allah. Oh Allah, let us see with the eye of truth and certainty beyond all the things that seem to be existing in this world to their reality, Ya Allah. And based on that reality, let us practice and submit to you, Ya Allah, and never be afraid of against them, Ya Allah. Oh Allah, we turn to you, Ya Allah, and we ask you to accept the month of Ramadan, Ya Allah, and all the worship therein, Ya Allah. Oh Allah, we turn to you, Ya Allah, and ask that you accept this, Ya Allah, in such a way that we are able to transform our lives in this world and gain your pleasure the hereafter, Ya Allah. Oh Allah, we ask you to distance the punishment from us, Ya Allah, since it never reaches us, Ya Allah. In this world, nor the hereafter, Ya Allah. Make us amongst those whose families are accepted and that we are accepted, Ya Allah. Whatever dua we should have asked that we did ask accepted from us. Whatever that we did ask, Ya Allah, grant sincerity in us. اللهم إنا نسألك من خير ما سألك منه نبيك عبدك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم ونعوذ بك من شر السعادة منه نبيك عبدك محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم أنت المستعان وعليك البلاء ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله وصلى الله تعالى على خير خلقه سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. عيد مبارك to everyone. كل عام وأنتم بخير. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Oh, the e-drive-through program, what time is that? 10. Yeah, from 10 to 12 here in the South Milwaukee campus. There will be different activities that will be here. Please come with the family. It's going to allow distancing. At the same time, you can see everyone. You can take advantage of this time together. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi. Virtual people.
Virtual hug?
Yeah. Looks like you've been special now to get off the car.
Oh yeah. Is it close?